Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this Raspberry Pi Pixhawk Cube build that we're doing. In this part 2, we're quickly gonna go over connecting the cube to the Raspberry Pi and install all the dependencies we require to run that nice 3 megapixel high definition camera on the Raspberry Pi to give us a live video feed of our drone while it's flying. This is it's going to be a very easy tutorial, very quick, doesn't require any extra skills, and I will only go over what is required. Now to start, I've already plugged in my Raspberry Pi to the power source and it's running right now. In the last video, we connected and set up our Raspberry Pi to run directly through 0 tier, and that is what we are going to use to log into our Raspberry Pi right now to install the dependencies for the camera. And so I will copy the Raspberry Pi IP address and paste it in here, and then we'll log in, accept Pi and Raspberry, and we are on or in. I will go ahead and include all of the dependencies that you will need to download over here. You can do them one by one, or just like I'm gonna do right now is just go ahead and paste all of them together and hit enter, and Raspberry Pi will go ahead and install all of them at one go instead of just going one by one. All of this stuff is going to be in the description, and I'll also provide a link to where this is at GitHub. Alrighty, so this actually took a lot longer than I expected. This package right here actually took close to 6 hours to complete. And just to give you a peace of mind when you're watching this, because if you leave it on here, it's just you won't know what the status of the installation is. So what you could do is when you go to install this package here, right after pip3, do a space -v, and then the rest of it. And what this will do is give you a percentage of what's going on in the installation process. This way, at least it's not just hung up and it's not doing anything. Also, another thing, if you're using PuTTY, you would want to maybe increase the cutoff time of the connection, because if you don't, it's just going to time out and you won't never be able to finish downloading this package. So what you could do is just right click. You can either do it here if you have it running already, or you can do it from the console. It's the same thing. But you can kind of right click at the top over here and then go to settings and then connection settings and change this 0 to 30 and then hit apply, and this will actually leave it for a good day or two connected without being disconnected from here, because if you leave it at 0, it's just going to disconnect after an hour or two of its downloading. And another point I would like to add on here is that maybe I found it a bit hard. I actually had to delete or reinstall everything. Whenever you're downloading the Raspberry Pi, don't go with Raspberry Pi Lite unless you're very familiar with the console. Just download the regular Raspberry Pi and everything should work right away. But if you do the Lite, then you might have some issues and might need to add extra dependencies to make these dependencies work. And so, again, if you are good with the Raspberry Pi console, then you're good with the Lite. And the only reason you would need that is for the camera. The mav proxy actually works fine with Raspberry Pi Lite, but the camera dependencies won't. And so just to make it easy, just download the regular Raspberry Pi image. And then once you're done, you scroll down. Again, I'm gonna put this in the below the video. I'll give you a link to all of these things so you can do it. Once you're done installing all of that, you can go ahead and install this. This is just in case you have some problems installing these dependencies. You can just download this and it should work. Once that is completed, come here, install this. Make sure, obviously, you're in the root directory, and then install this. Once you got that installed, you can go and copy this link, and this will actually start your camera. So as you can see, if I run it right now, hopefully it will run. Let's see. We'll give it a second. Yep, it worked. So once this is running, you can just go to your browser and hit Pi. As you can see, I've already done it. And there you go. You should see me on the Raspberry Pi camera saying hello. Sorry, I look like crap. I was actually out kayaking today. Alright, so the latency isn't that good right now for some reason. But it's good enough. And then you can stop it and close and then go back and hit Control-C and you're out. Now the other thing that you could do is that obviously if this is for a drone, you would want to auto start it like over here. And again, it's super simple. You copy that, paste it, and it'll open this, and then you go all the way to the bottom, here, and just add this line. Add this line to the bottom, and then reboot, save and reboot. And then what that will do is that every time your Raspberry Pi connects, it's going to run the script and your camera is going to run right away, which is what you would want for your drone. Is you would want the camera to start right away. This way you don't have to mess with this code. And so from here we are good to go actually. Now the second step to all of this is to connect to your mission planner. And once you get your mission planner running, just go ahead and connect your Raspberry Pi to your Pixhawk. And then once you do that, you will need to type in. Now remember, we've downloaded mav proxy, and then in mav proxy there's a code. Once you're done doing it, Let's see where it is. I've just checked it. And you're going to use this one right here. You're going to have to type this. But when it comes to your IP address, if you're using 0 tier, the default port is 9993. And then the IP address, make sure you put the IP address. I made the mistake for almost a year of putting the IP address of the Raspberry Pi from 0 tier, right? And that is not the IP address that needs to go here. The right IP address is your ground station, so your computer's IP address. And this will also be part of the 0 tier group that you've created. Let me see if I can show you real quick here on my networks. So for example, I'm gonna hide my PC. Ground station. So I'm actually just gonna hide it a little bit. So on the ground station, and once you go to 0 tier and you scroll down, you're gonna have your drone IP address over here, and then if you scroll down, you should have your computer like I showed you on the first video. You take the IP address of your computer, not your Raspberry Pi, and you put that here, and then you're good to go. You just hit enter. And this thing should connect right away. As you can see, it's connecting and it's ready to go now. All you gotta do is go up to connect. Again, your 0 tier port is 9993. That's just standard on 0 tier. Hit OK, and voila, you got your Pixhawk connected through the internet, not through cable. Like, this is going to the Raspberry Pi, to the camera, and this is just, I'm just powering here the Raspberry Pi. And there you go. As you can see, the latency is amazing. Turn it left and right, and it's moving, very responsive. Even if I add the, this is from my other drone, so I have this glued, so I'm sorry about that. But if you connect, you will see that my GPS is going to pick up right now. This is where I live, actually. There's my 3D fix. This is it. So, this is it. So once you start, I'm not gonna go into detail on, I'm gonna leave this. If you guys want, on another video, I will explain how to set up Mission Planner, but I mean, there's a million episodes. There's a million videos out there that describe how to work with this or how to set it up. You can watch those and you are good to go. So the way you do this is, well, the way I use it is, I use my regular transmitter to get it off the ground, and I up in the air, and then once it's up in the air, I would go to actions here and activate my joystick. And once it's, once that is connected, I just use my joystick to control it once it's away from, my range, the range of my transmitter. And also, don't forget that on my other screen, I would usually have the camera running in the background just to show me where I'm at. So let's see. I don't know if it's gonna work because I've actually put the wrong address on here. But this is all. Let me know if you have any questions. This was as high level as I can make it. If you run into any problems while doing the installations, dependencies, usually they're very easy to figure out. Just highlight the error and paste it in Google, and usually the first thing that comes on Overstack is your answer. There's a lot of helpful people on there that have all the answers to all these issues, and it wasn't hard really finding out when I had the issues with them. But if you follow everything that I've done, you should not get any issues, and this should be straightforward. Like I said, this is my third or fourth Pixhawk that I'm doing, and I have not had a single problem with either one of them. So yeah, enjoy. So on my third part, I'm gonna put this in my plane, and we're gonna go out there and try and fly it, and hopefully I don't lose this plane. If I've set my failsafe correctly, hopefully I will not lose my plane. And with that, I will see you on the last video or last part of this series. Enjoy.